welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is your Turning Everything to Gold with Zenzi and Luna. We're focused today on the third eye chakra. We're going to talk a little bit about different tools to be able to open, activate, and turn on that powerful intuition and different ways to cleanse the body and the pineal gland. Let's start with that. So I'm going to turn that over to you on different ways to be able to cleanse and really turn on that pineal gland, which is really turning on the third eye and the intuition.
So the pineal gland is located, third eye, right behind, in between your eyebrows, behind your eyes, right?
It's back a little bit further back. Yeah,
further back.
Further back.
Than I thought it was. Yeah, it's like in the middle. It's like in there.
It's in there.
It's like you got to get in there, right?
It's a pine cone shape.
Yeah,
which
pine
is
cone
kind
shape.
of why they call it that.
So I was. No,
Yeah,
you were gonna say.
No, I want you. I want you to say like
Okay.
your experience from when you took class, and then I want to hear your transition, just to share with everybody. Like this came in, it was new information. You applied the information, and then your experience. I really want you to share.
So Zenzi did a course that we took back in February. You did it a couple of times actually, but I took the course back in February. It was called the Rich. Sorry, I'm gonna.
That's
mess
okay.
It up.
It was rooted intuitive celestial healing, and it's intuitive training. It's energy work, but it is teaching people on the body, mind, and spirit. We really engage the spirit in the energy, intuitive energy healing. It's called Rich Training,
and it was amazing. And I learned so much. It was 2 days. We came here, small group, and the first day we were talking about intuition and how to activate the intuition. And then you told us about the pineal gland, and I was like, interesting. And then you said there's a couple, I will never forget this. You said there's a couple of things that it gets calcified as you get older, the things that you put in your body. And you said you started with fluoride. I will never, as long as I live, forget this conversation. And you said fluoride is very toxic to the body. It is not good for you. All these things. And a woman in the class spoke up and said, well, actually, they've found that topically on the teeth, it's fine, and it's not really a problem. And you did not miss a beat. You're like, no, it's toxic, and you shouldn't put it in your body. We're moving on. And I was like, oh dang, we should not be having the fluoride. Okay. And you're like, there was no discussion. It was not open for discussion. This is the information I want you to have. We're not discussing this. And I thought, okay. And then I thought about like fluoride. It's in everything that we put in our mouth for dental. And then also when we go to the dentist, they want to put it on our teeth, and it's in our water.
Water, yep.
So I was like, okay, fluoride's out. Okay. And then there was processed foods, and I was like, okay, I eat a lot of processed foods. Processed foods are out. And then you said, alcohol, once in a while you're like glass of wine, yeah, whatever, but alcohol, where's the other? I feel like I'm missing
different
something.
types of heavy metals are not good as well. And there's actually a list. You can go on and look at the things that create calcification to the third eye, but
which I did go
heavy
home
metals are not
and look it up, and everything she said was 100% accurate. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to eliminate these things. What am I going to start with? Fluoride. Growing up, when we would go to the dentist, I hated going to the dentist. Not because I had bad teeth or any other issues, but they used to put the fluoride in like these little cups and put them on your teeth, and you had to sit there, and I would sit there gagging for it was like 10 or 15 minutes. And I was like, my body would reject it, like reject. And then growing up, we had well water in my small town, but when we would go to my grandparents, it would be city water. And it would smell and taste awful. And my grandmother would say, well, that's the fluoride in the water. And I didn't even like to bathe, like take a bath there, because
it can soak in through the skin too, absolutely.
And it was just, ugh. So I immediately went home. I went to BJ's. I was like, well, toothpaste is out. We got to go get some toothpaste. And Tom's of Maine, which is a all natural brand. They sell that. I bought like 5 tubes of that, BJ's. And I've been using that ever since.
Oh, that's the wholesale place.
The wholesale place,
okay,
yeah.
I'm
Buying
I'm not
wholesale.
Sure what
we ain't using fluoride. We getting 5 tubes of it. Okay, we're never gonna have fluoride.
Fluoride-free.
I can't be running out. Okay. So
a toothpaste is a big one because of all the soft tissue in the mouth, and if you look at your toothpaste, it'll
seeps
say
into the gums.
Toxic, and it'll say if you swallow and
Don't
you put it in your mouth, of course you're gonna get some in your mouth.
Why are you putting something in your mouth that you shouldn't be
toxic.
swallowing? So I was like, okay, that's out. It's harder to find mouthwash. I don't think I've actually found one that I like, but Tom's of Maine does do a mouthwash, but I digress. So the fluoride was out immediately. I went to the dentist, my last cleaning, which was a month or 2 after. They're like, oh, we're going to put fluoride on your teeth. I said, nope. They're like, oh, we want you to go buy this mouthwash. I was like, is there fluoride in it? Yeah, I don't do fluoride. Well, fluoride's good for you. Actually, no, it's not.
Go find a holistic dentist would be my suggestion.
That's what Lisa, our mutual friend Lisa was like.
Find a holistic dentist because they will support your decisions.
To not do that. So they didn't put the fluoride on my teeth. I wouldn't have gone for that. But so the fluoride was totally out. And then in July, the state of Florida is doing something right, have banned fluoride in the water.
Because they put it in the water, and you can do a water test and actually see all. People should do that. So don't take our word. Yeah. Do a test on your water and just see what's in there.
First of all, if it's chlorinated,
Lord,
it's going to taste like a pool, and it's probably going to have more chlorine in it.
You can smell it, and sometimes you turn it on and you can smell it.
Always
filter.
Yeah. So
aluminum is another really not good for turning down and kind of shutting off and calcifying.
So I also took, which I had done 2 years prior. I don't use deodorant with aluminum. I don't use makeup. I don't use any products with aluminum. So any products that I put on my skin, no aluminum. So I got, I started making these modifications to lifestyle and diet. And
it started in February, like right after we started.
February. And I went home, I did the research, and it said, it's not going to be right away. You're not going to notice a difference right away. But, about 6 months to a year, give or take, how active you are in trying to eliminate this stuff from your diet, lifestyle. So I eliminated it, and I would say that was February. Starting in August, that's when like the intuition, the thoughts, because I'm clairaudient, clairsentient. I hear things, I have thoughts, and I also feel things. That's how things come to me. It was like awake.
Very clear. It's like turning on the radio dial and really getting it on that clear channel.
And it is 100 crystal clear, and it's like, and you think, because your egoic mind, the left side of your brain thinks, oh no, this, because
just a thought. This isn't
real. It's just a thought, but then it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You have this thought, and then it happens, and you're like, whoa, I knew that was going to happen, and I say that all the time now, and it's not, I knew that was going to happen, and I've done it anyways. It's like, oh no, for example, don't put your bottle there. It's going to fall over and it's going to break your crystal. I put my bottle there. It fell over. The crystal did not break, but I have moved the crystals. So I half listened, but these thoughts, these things that I'm hearing, it's 100% coming. And I do still eat some processed foods. It's kind of hard.
Well, it's not all the time. It's just really not all I'm eating is processed. And when you start to feel the difference in the way that the food weights down the spirit, because this is also connected to the third eye. This is part of the reason fasting, yes, physical body healing and all of this, but it also helps when your body is lighter, that your spirit and your third eye is more clear.
Yes. And that's honestly, fasting is something I do almost every day, maybe not so much the days that I go to my part-time job, because it's in a restaurant, it's very chaotic. I'm looking at food. I need
You
the fuel to like
energetically to move around,
energetically
to feel
move around.
good.
Yes. But and then also I'm looking at these delicious churro waffles, and it's easier to say no if I've had some fruit in the morning, to be quite honest. So yeah, so that's like, I learned so much about the pineal gland and like decalcifying it, and I think that that's huge when trying to start to awaken the third eye. Because, and also I would say the third eye, from what I've read, is partly your imagination. It's when we're children. I just had this conversation with Nick yesterday. When we're children and we have an imaginary friend, that's not an imaginary friend. Like, that's a spirit or something that is there. That's our third eye. When we see things or we know things as children, and we have these wild imaginations or dreams, because the third eye really is like the dream state. And when you're dreaming at night, and I would say in the last 2 months, the dreams have gotten way more lucid. Way more
There's
lucid.
also the time that we're in too is really opening up between this eclipse season.
Yeah.
It really brings stuff up to the surface.
I mean,
too.
like,
That's awesome.
And I wasn't writing them down, but, and I don't think I told you this, I do have a dream journal, which is important to write them down. But also, when I wake up in the morning, I voice record them. Like, this is what happened in my dream, so that I can go back and write it down.
I like that way, because sometimes when you're in a deep sleep, you don't want to get up and write.
And right.
But if you
I
don't,
was
but
finding
recording
it very hard.
something takes 30 seconds, and then you can really
and then you can go
deep
back
dive
and like
into it in the
decode
morning.
like what is all of this, and then things that happen.
Write it down. It's a story. Sometimes it's a story for certain people.
So the third eye is actually my favorite chakra, because I find it so interesting, because it's so like mystical, but also like the crystals associated with it.
What are some of the crystals?
My
to
favorite
be able
crystal.
to
My
be
favorite.
able to really connect and sharpen that third eye.
Lapis, I would say, is like,
Just like throat's my favorite too. I love it.
oh god,
It's the gold. It's the blue.
it's the blue.
Really good for
it
powerful
looks like,
for intuition.
Yeah, it looks like the earth when you're looking down from space, and there's like some cloud. It's just, I love. I've always loved lapis, and lapis is like the, it's what the ancient Egyptians used. It's like, that's how like far back lapis goes, and it's very good for.
Oh, when you said that,
intuition.
I just went back to Atlantis, Lemuria.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this has been something that
it's
has been really used and engaged for a
hundreds
long
of
time.
thousands, millions of years. So I love lapis. And then my other favorite is labradorite, which it's such, and I never noticed how beautiful your labradorite stone is. It's like blues and grays and rainbows, and it's just, it opens it aligns the body, mind, and spirit. And I think a lot of people in the world today have the body, the mind, like that we've got pieces, but the labradorite really helps to open and connect all three of them. So those are my two favorite for the third eye. And when I meditate in the morning, I have a piece of raw lapis that I put on my third eye, and then I also hold the labradorite in my hand. So those are my two like go-tos for third eye.
I love that. I love blue lace agate as like a really powerful soft piece. Agate in general. Different jaspers, you can find different jaspers that are really going to open up that energy. I love selenite, because it really connects that transparent, translucent energy, fine, high vibration. And you can take a little piece on it and place that over the third eye when you're laying back for meditation. But different ways for opening up that energy too. Meditation is really powerful. Visualization in different techniques to bring in this white light or gold energy, or even connecting with the violet light and calling that in and pulling that in through. Visualization is just so powerful in general, but pulling it in and seeing like a beautiful opening of that space, that third eye, calling that in. But the stones are so powerful. Meditation is a fantastic tool. And I want to say, trust in yourself. when you feel
Yeah.
things come in, trust. When I was first on this journey, if I didn't listen to the intuitive direction that came in, I would get upset with myself. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew I shouldn't have gone there. I knew this was going to happen, and I wouldn't listen to myself, and I would continue to do it anyway. So start to listen to that little spiritual push that's in the gut. And it can come in for so many different ways. It can come in through thought. It can come in through feelings, emotions, the gut knowing, the writing on the heart. It's different. We all process energy a little bit different. So sometimes if you get a push with a thought and it keeps coming and coming, you really need to focus on that a little bit, because it can be guidance. And then once you get it, like once you finally figure out what this is, like for example, someone keeps coming to mind. They keep coming to mind. They keep coming to mind. You're like, what? What is going? But they probably need prayer. They probably need intention. You should give them a call. They're thinking of you too. That's that connection right now. Say, hey, I was just thinking of you. You know what? I was thinking of you too. So that's that instant connection. Really powerful through that third eye.
Yes, I would say a lot more lately. Actually, this just happened the other day. I was asking a coworker, hey, what's going on with our other coworker? I thought he was supposed to come back last week. He had a huge medical crisis, and he is a beautiful, beautiful, creative, artistic, like just beautiful spirit. I love him so much. And I hadn't seen him, and I knew he was supposed to come back, and she was like, oh yeah, I don't really know. And I literally was like, I went downstairs 5 minutes later to go to the bathroom, and I walked by the office, and he's sitting in there. And I'm like, I was just upstairs asking about you. That is crazy. And he was like, oh yeah, da 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 da. And yeah, but that happens all the time. Or I'm thinking about someone, my sister, I had seen something on social media, and typically I won't send her things that are of a low vibration. She likes to send me, I will say, low vibrational memes that have to do with things that happened in our childhood that she can relate to. And she sent, and I was like, oh, but it really resonated with me. And I was like, I went away from it, and then I was like, no, I have to send this because I think that this would be important. And the gist of the message was, the only family you should really be focused on is the little family that you've built, and not the family that you came from that you cannot change. That was the gist of the message, because I just felt like she needed to hear it. And she texted me back about 10 minutes later, and she was like, that's scary. And I was like, what happened? And she goes, our mother just texted us. And it was the message was talking about our relationship with our mother that's not so great right now. And it was kind of like, the way she took it was, I'm prepared to like deal with that energy when that energy comes in. And the energy literally came in 60 seconds after I sent the message. So I was like, okay, I was called to send that to you. And I'm glad that I listened to it, because
trusting your intuition.
because she needs that constant reinforcement.
And I want to say too, when it comes with family, your family too may not be your blood family. It can be your spiritual family. It can be your friend family. It's your family are going to be the people who are there that are with you, and you're going to know they've got your back 150%. So that doesn't necessarily mean some people don't have children, and they maybe don't have a partner, but you have a group of people,
and just know who your
family.
People are, and who your family is, and who loves you and supports you. And I think you really have to guard your energy, because 100%. There's a lot of people that are just like, want to get in there and take. And I have people on my phone. I have a 60-something-year-old Black woman in my phone as sister, and my other friend that I've known for a couple years, she's my spirit sister. And like, we just, when we see angel numbers on the clock, we just text back and forth, or we send high vibrational messages to each other. So I don't know We kind of got off.
We're working on the
third eye.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
working
Oh,
on the third
trusting
eye.
the intuition and what comes
Yep.
in. Yes. I'm like, how?
Where'd we get here?
Yeah.
I
Where'd
love
the road
trail.
go? The road has shifted. Where are we?
It's really about trusting, and I think that listening to that guidance is huge. And I think in the really the time that we're in a big time of when we say closings or endings, it feels like more of a deep soul. Like we're working right now on the soul level. We have online classes that right now we're working with the new moon, and it's like 6 new moons, I think June through December, and then it was working on that soul level. And it's all right now, the time that we're in is closing these cycles that no longer serve. And that can be really listening to your intuition of, how does this feel? How does this relationship feel? How does this place feel? Oh, this show doesn't feel the same to me. Because when you start to shift in vibration and awakening, like you're talking about cleansing the pineal gland and focusing on what you put on your body, and you're doing maybe a cleanse, but you're also doing the spiritual, because it is the triangle, right? The points of the triangle, the body, mind, and spirit. So we're really called to do this time now of, is this serving me? Is this serving me? Closing the door and then trusting that it's time to go ahead and close that door. It can be difficult when it's with relationships or work or different things.
Or even things that you think you enjoy. Like, I will never forget our first session right before I left at the very end. It was, we were talking about reality television, Bravo TV, reality television, and Instagram, and all the things that kept inundating the news and the things that were inundating me. And you're like, why do you watch those things? If they don't make you feel good and you kind of don't feel good like watching them, why do you watch them? And I was like, well, because it's entertaining. And you're like, is it? Like, the way that you said it wasn't judgmental. I didn't feel judged. It was just like, yeah, no, it's not. And like that day, stopped with the news, stopped with watching. I don't typically watch TV anymore. Nick and I went home after class on Friday night. Is that when we had class? And he was just like scrolling through whatever streaming service, and he comes across this show about murderers, and he puts it on. And I'm like, I'm cleaning up or doing whatever, and I sit down, and like the guy's talking about how he murdered his family. And I'm like, no, we're not. You got to shut this off. Like, what are you watching here? He's like, oh, I don't know. I just turned it on. I was like, well, turn it off, please. Like, and then we put on a show, a YouTube show about like van camping. And I'm like, this feels great. How can
camping sounds amazing.
Yeah, like, yeah, I was like, no, like, maybe we need to get rid of some of this other stuff, because what we're taking in constantly through our eyes and what we hear and, what other people speak, you just really have to protect yourself from that. And one way is to just not have access to it.
Well, it's such a change in the habits. And I think once you really start to work on your spiritual energy, your body, and your mind, and then you're really opening up your intuition, that stillness and being able to hear that time is important. And then when things don't resonate or something comes in and you start feeling a way that's, you're aware feels off, or it can be going to a place where you used to hang out all the time, and then you go in and it just doesn't feel the same, and you can feel the shift, but it's such a habit or such a part of your life that I think that's what makes it difficult. But as we're raising in vibration and awareness, and we do this intuitive work, we do the meditation, we get into this space of healing, things will just naturally start to fall away.
People too.
And there's other things, beautiful things that will come in and fill its space. But that's all listening to that powerful third eye. And the more you acknowledge and the more you tune in, the more it will come in clearly.
I heard something so beautiful the other day about trees. When trees lose their leaves in the winter, it's because they push them away. Because trees suck the leaves on the trees need water, right, to stay green, and they will take all the tree's water and kill the tree. So when trees are going through the change of seasons, which is what we're all doing in life, they will push or get rid of, however you want to put it, away knowing that something will come back, knowing that the leaves will come back, different leaves, newer leaves, something else. So pushing things away or clearing things out that don't
allowing them
serve
to
us.
fall without
Judgment
on it is a huge thing.
It's
Or
the
a
judgment.
lot of people too, and we all do, make decisions based on guilt. Well, I should be doing this because
We've been friends for so long. Yeah.
How does it? And I'm just going to bring up. I like to say stories of different things with clients. But I was just working with another client, and she said, her husband passed traumatically, and we've been working on healing for the past really 7 years. And I said, she goes, I finally feel like I'm ready to stop doing this main thing that I do to support this feeling. I go, well, what do you mean? And she said, every year around his passing, I do a trip with friends. And she said, and we talk about our lives and all these sad things. And it's like what we've done every year. And she goes, this is the first year that I don't feel like I want to go around and celebrate or focus on or be in the sadness. And I said, how long? And she said 7 years. I go, 7 is completion, perfection. You're done with this cycle.
Yep.
And I said, now, she goes, I like remembering his birthday, and we celebrate this because of the children.
Yeah.
And she said, but I don't want to, and that's not necessarily we're celebrating it, but they made it into a retreat that they went out, and that she goes, that's what we talk about. And she goes, now we talk about these sad things, and then I just come back from this trip and I feel heavy and I feel really bad. But that's the cycle. That is clearing these things. That's letting things go. That's listening to your intuition. And she even said it could be the friends or the people she's with. And I said, well, how about this? Instead of, because she's not sure where the division is. So I would say, why don't you create a different time and then make it all about positivity and full of life and your experience in the present moment? And then see how it feels to be around those people and what that connection is. Because if it's all about this, then everyone's going to be led to talk about the negativity or sadness. I said, but if you're doing something different on a different day for the intention of being in the present moment and just loving each other and having fun and supporting and being in the moment, I said it might be completely different. Then make the decision. Because she said, I just feel drained around them. And I said, it could be the whole scenario because of what it was built around.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I first started on this healing journey, you said people are going to fall away, relationships are going to end, and you'll be very lonely. And I was like, no, my friendships are good. No, I'm good, girl. And I really don't. It's funny because I really don't. The people that I was friends with before, we're not close anymore. I still love them and I want the best for them, but like our vibration aren't aligned anymore. They drink a lot, which is, again, no judgment. It's just, I don't drink. I don't do these things. And it's okay that you do them. Like it's fine and I still love you. But I find myself to be a lot more introverted. I enjoy being with myself, which I don't think I really liked that. I was like, I have to be around people and people are fun. And I'm like, no, I like being by myself. And then my husband said a month ago, he goes, Zenzi's your friend. And I'm like, yeah, we're friends. And he goes, she's the first friend you've made probably in your whole adult life that doesn't have anything to do with your job. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how does that feel? I'm like, it feels really good. Like to go into the world, meet someone and like create a relationship with them that doesn't have anything to do with your mutual dislike or like for something else. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, yes. And I said, well, she told me, in one of my sessions that my friends would fall away. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, it's the best thing that ever happened. And I have to say this, I still love them so much. And I still enjoy, talking to them and, all of that. But it's like and I said this also to my husband when I first started really getting on the spiritual path was, I need to know if you're willing to go with me because I'm going to go. And if I'm going and you're back here, I'm not going to keep coming back. Like, you have to,
you want to grow together.
We have to go together.
Because you can get a little ahead, but you don't want to get too far ahead to where there's so much separation.
Exactly.
You're on completely different
So
life paths.
I said, I'm going to go. Do you want to come? And he was like, sure. Because he comes to class and he's into it. He's coming to the retreat in Sedona. He's super excited. But he was like, sure. Because I was like, it's we either go together or we go separate. And
you kind of didn't. You kind of kicked him into gear there.
I did. But now I'm finding I'm
in.
further down the road. And it's kind of like maybe I'm a little too far and I can't stop. So I need him to just
and he'll get
pick
there
up the
because
pace.
Everybody's there on their time. But the cool thing is he's supportive and he shows up, and that's amazing to be on that journey. He's still, he's got. I think your timing is a little bit different too, to where you've got a little bit more downtime and focus time.
Correct.
And when you're constantly in the corporate world and you're caught in that loop, then you've got the weekend or a little bit of time. So it's not like you can't do it because it's a lifestyle, but at the same time, you just have more time to focus on it in a different way. But I do believe, and I've seen it, that one day it'll be completely shifted to where you guys are going to have your individual paths and then come together and work like that. So super, super powerful. And the whole thing with people dropping away, sometimes it isn't easy, and this can be people. I remember saying, I want to be in a really in a sacred journey, and I want to go to this powerful awakening, and I really want to have this connection. And I said, okay, just know that part of that is sometimes you'll be a little lonely. It can be lonely, but you'll meet a new vibration, new spirit family, and very rewarding. So listen to your third eye. Listen to that intuitive push. That gut feeling, that knowing in the heart, and it also shows up in the form of synchronicity. That I call it the magic. I think
we
it's
have to
magical.
do a whole episode
It's
on
magic.
synchronicities.
That's what I like to call it. But it's the synchronicity, and it's the confirmation, really, of spirit in the universe just speaking directly to you. So mega confirmation when you have, and spirit speaks in signs and symbols, and so when you have those spiritual eyes open, you can see it. And then when you say thank you, I'm so grateful, it's like the universe says, okay, we're going to continue in that circle of overflowing, and we're just going to pour out to you. And
the abundance, it
is amazing. And it is a magical journey.
Yes.
Anything else about the third eye that we want to share before we wrap up today's session?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I could talk about the third eye for days.
It's really a powerful journey. And when you get to that space, it's fun and rewarding, and you see the world in a different
totally
way.
different.
It's like new eyes to see.
Yes. I can't even imagine going back. I'm not going back.
It's that red pill, blue pill. Once you see it, you can't once you get into this new space, the door is just kicked wide open.
Wide open, and you're just you're just seeing everything.
Yeah. And the people are like, what's going on with you? You've shifted, you've changed. You're like, you've turned foo-foo-y. You've turned a little.
I'm a woo-woo.
Yeah.
I'm a woo-woo. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I don't. And do you see how happy I am? That's another thing. Is do you see how happy I am?
So much joy.
This isn't fake. I have times when I'm sad, and then I allow myself to be sad.
You go through it, process it.
Yeah.
So. And it really is that rewarding, powerful connection.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a great time. See you soon.
Bye.